Batman Productions.
I am the sole creator of Batman. These are the words of Bob Kane, the man who for decades was in fact the sole creator of Batman. But this is not true. Bill Finger, the man who just saw blow his brains out, is the unsung true creator of Batman, Gotham, the villains, and everything great about Batman to this date. First, let's go back to the beginning. Bob and Bill met at a party. They both showed an interest in comic books, and Bob even admired Bill's academic intelligence. After they met, they became good friends, and even writing a couple of comic books together. Bob came to Bill with the idea of a Bat superhero. He made this drawing, and Bill showed great interest. Bill spent months making his own version to make the character better. Came up with the Batman we know today, the villains, and more vital elements of the character. After Bill showed Bob his own version, and Bob became obsessed. Bob took it to a comic publishing group he'd heard of recently called Detective Comics, aka DC, and pitched them Batman. But after Bob heard the price DC would pay for the character, Bob knew he had to push Bill out of the equation and steal Batman for himself. Bob came into contact with an executive at DC for an under-the-table contract to remove Bill from the deal. Here is a dramatic reenactment to show how Bob got Bill's signature.
Bob, why'd you call me here today?
Well, I just wanted to know, how's the new progress on that Batman comic?
The Batman, it's going really well. There's one issue. You haven't really credited me on the cover.
Shut up! Right, anyway, I need you to sign this contract to the release form. Don't really read it, it's nothing important, just DC
Bob,
Comics.
what is this?
Just don't worry, Action Comics, Detective Comics, just don't worry about it, just sign it right there. And thanks.
Bob, what is that?
Thank you.
Bob!
Yeah, just I'll see you later. See you later.
After Bob took advantage of Bill's trust, he met up with the dirty DC executive and gave him the illegal contract.
Did he sign the contract?
Yes, it's right here. He doesn't suspect a thing.
No money, no credit, no nothing to him. Understand?
Yep. Yes.
Tell anybody about this, you're dead. I hope to see you here tomorrow. Same time, same place.
By the end of that same week, Bill had finished the first 10 issues of the Batman comics and gave them to Bob to publish. After the first issue was published, just as Bob suspected, it was an overnight success. Everyone was talking about Batman, hundreds of letters sent to DC asking for more, and Bob was already cashing in $100 checks, but Bill was left penniless.
Bob stole my idea. Bloody. Tax money. $1. I should still have $1 left for when I won that lottery. Don't even have $1!
After days of waiting on even a single check, nothing came. Bill went ahead to his local comic store and bought himself a copy of his own comic to see how it turned out. But the first thing he noticed, his name was nowhere to be found on the cover. Bill confronted Bob about it, and Bob just told him the truth. because he knew there was nothing Bill could do to get his credit. After a lengthy back-and-forth argument, their friendship was over. Bill was broke. He couldn't even pay his taxes, and Bob, well, he was living the life of his dreams.
مبسوطين كلنا والأحباب متجمعين فرحانين بهلنا وفي السماء طايرين مبسوطين كلنا والأحباب متجمعين.
And after a decade of Bill appealing to DC and trying to get his credit, while still barely making a living mopping floors, he topped himself in the bathroom. His body wasn't discovered for 7 weeks. Bill Finger has since been credited in every recent Batman comic book, movie, and TV show as the co-creator of Batman. Sadly, he was never alive to see the day when people would finally recognize his efforts.